Hey guys, welcome to a new review. Now before I review this figure, I'm going to set you up with a little story here. Now imagine this, you've been walking into the same GameStop over and over again, nothing new. Just the same old boring drab stuff, and then suddenly you walk inside, you turn a corner, you look straight ahead of you, and what is that you see? The Carol exclusive. The GameStop Carol exclusive. And I gotta tell you guys, I didn't think I would ever see her. She's just been one of those impossible to achieve figures for me for a while here. My GameStop never gets stuff of, within the time of their release. They always wait a long time to get it in, but then this one came in around the right time and it was amazing. Now, I don't shop online, so I didn't think I would ever get this figure to review, but now I have her. And she's not the greatest figure, but I needed her because the previous figure's head sculpt is just disgusting. It is the biggest, stinkiest pile I've ever seen. Let me try and grab it for a second here since I'm so unprepared for this review. Here we go. Now, I'm trying to repaint her, but just the overall sculpt on this one is just horrible. I've been stripping the old paint off of her, and I painted her hair white already for some reason, but it's just bloody awful. The sculpt is just, it makes it so that you can't really paint it to look just like Carol, and this new one looks perfect for what you need. And that's why I needed her, even though she has a lot of flaws that I can already see just from what she looks like in the package here. Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to review her immediately. Let's take a look here. It says GameStop exclusive here. Exclusive on exclusivite. And then exclusivo. There we go. That one was easy. 12 plus. See, it does say 12 plus now in case you didn't believe me. And then there's the back. I did a review of Dale. I did a review of Morgan. And I did a review of Rick. Now I'm doing a review of the GameStop exclusive Carol. And I wish I had Eugene. He's a rare one for some reason. Tyrese is a Target exclusive. I'm probably never going to see him. And then I'm trying to review Bob, but I have to return the Bob figure and get a trade-in thing. It's just, it's a lot of stuff. It's a mess. So he broke as soon as I opened him, so I couldn't review him. So yeah. Anyway, let me crack this figure open. Now this is Series 8, if I didn't mention that. Just for those of you who are unaware of the series numbers, Okay. And she sits in there fairly well. With mine, there's a piece of tape that's just hovering in front of her face. I don't know if you can see it there, yeah. So, for those of you who want to keep her in package, if you have that problem, you might want to go with a different one, because that does look kind of annoying. If I was a mint-in package collector, I would be like, why does that tape have to be in her face? But anyway. Also, I'm going to repaint her face, definitely, but because it's a new sculpt, that's why I wanted her. Uh-oh. Rubber. There. Whoa. They fixed it. All I had to do was pull on that a little and it just popped off. You don't have to be the Hulk anymore to open these figures. And then, this thing is really odd. I'll go over this in a second. And then, let's pull out the weapons here. Might as well pull some stuff over here for when I'm talking about that. Come on, open up. Tape is a problem for me. Just a bloody problem. Yeah. If you're in England, I'm probably a really filthy talking person. Sorry. Okay. Wow, all that work, and it's finally done. Let me pull her off to the side here. Let me talk about this crossbow first, though. Let me see if I can grab something here. Jeez. I'm always so unprepared. Well, to be fair, right after I got this one, I had to review it, so that's why I don't have all the stuff ready. I didn't really think about this stuff. I'm sorry. No. I don't think I have that at hand. Oh well. What I'm going to discuss here is the way this crossbow is made. You see the way it looks here? this is the one that came with Series 1 Daryl, and it was painted with a red arrow and just black everywhere else. And maybe some silver paints, but this is painted to look like this bow and arrow, or crossbow, which is inaccurate because this is supposed to be this in the show. When she found a crossbow at the place, Terminus, when she was rescuing them, it was this one. And she should come with this one, but for some reason, McFarlane just repainted the old one and then stuck it out there. I don't know what the story is behind that, but I kind of like it because I already own like 7 different crossbows. I'm gonna take a picture of just like a crossbow army one of these days and it'll be amazing. Yeah. Maybe I'll do a review of my crossbow army or something, I don't know. But I like this because it's a little different, and I know for some people this is just annoying and stupid, but now I don't have 7 of the same crossbows. I have little variations here and there. So yeah. Let's take a look at her accessories and we'll take a look at her real quick. Real quick. Take a longer look at her than the accessories. Okay. Come on, some focus here. Yeah. Look at that paint. I like the little details they put on the back of the crossbow there. The arrow there. I don't know what they call those. I knew that at one point. Then here's the arrow head. No silver paint on there. Then here's this individual arrows that have been put in here. I've actually, with some of these, they've just come out and you can look at them, but for this one they're glued. I don't know if they're all glued and it's just some are not glued as well, but yeah, some of these have come out for me, I don't know. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then it's got a strap here, which is thicker, more solid plastic than the original that this came from, but that's not necessarily a good thing because it feels like it's going to break. It feels a little weak. And then it's got metal little rings there holding the plastic to it, which is different from the way this one is designed. It's just got the rubber parts connected to the plastic there. I don't know which one I like better. I think this one will last better as opposed to this one. Okay, now here's her new machine gun, which I'm not sure, this may be accurate to what it looked like in the episode, but then again it may not. I don't quite remember what it looked like. I know it had a scope and I know it had a bipod here. So that's as far as I know. Yeah, and for what it is, it's really nice. It looks kind of like, let me see if I have that here. Oh, of course I don't. It looks sort of like Morgan's machine gun, only slightly updated. I don't know. I don't think it is, though, because this one's got these dots that are missing in there, and Morgan's didn't have that, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And then this one's got a very sleek design to it. I like the pod up here. It will stick in place up front, so you don't have to have it swing around. And then this is good for if you, like in real life practicality, if you are, oh geez, focus from afar is not working. Okay. If you are like laying down on a hill and you have to aim well, this balances the front here so you don't have to use your arm and get it all hurt up there. Helps everything be more steady. I've used it before. It works in real life. Okay. Nice scope on there too. And then the paint details are rather basic. It's just silver over a black color. Then the strap is just a harder type of, it should be rubber, but it's not. It's just a hardish type of soft plastic. And that's connected with just these straps that are loosely on there so that they can slide up and down on both sides. See that? Yeah. Okay. Now here, just no. The way they designed this is just really bad. Oh, jeez. Okay, now, I don't know where to start off here, but just take a look at how they designed this. If this was fabric, it would be the best thing ever. But because they made it so that it's some sort of sculpted mesh here, this reminds me of a Halo, I think it's the newest Halo games figure that had this huge cloak on him that made him look like he was some sort of giant inside. It was ridiculously huge, and that's what it looks like on her. It just looks wrong. And it's very tightly on her, so it's probably going to be hard for me to pull this off. Let's take a quick look up here for the paint and the sculpt, then we'll pull this pile off. Yeah, a nice little gut detail on there. It's got a dark red paint throughout. It lightens up at the bottom. Got a nice sculpt for whatever sort of blanket this is. And it has texture throughout. Guts all over. Ugh. Yeah, that's grody. I think her face should have a little more blood. Was that just mud that she rubbed on herself? I don't remember. Wasn't it a little bit blood? I don't know. I'll take a look at that once I get this big piece of plastic off. So, if you're buying her to display her with this thing, then no. It's just, it doesn't look right. Her body is a good sculpt. It's good the way it is. And, oh, by the way, I took the jacket off of this one because I'm trying to, not get paint all over her. Yeah. And I'm also going to change this one's body colors, shirt and jacket. I figured I can change this one up because I have a new one now. Also, I'd like to point out this new one has a discolored type of plastic. I don't know if the camera can pick that up right, but this one's more vibrant colored. The new one's kind of dull. Yeah, it looks kind of creepy, but that's only at the hands there. Okay. Oh yeah, I really love this plastic, but another problem is they didn't bother giving her the knife, which, that's kind of jerky, right? I mean, that's kind of cheap. I mean, she originally came with the knife, and it's a new sculpt for this holder, too. See that? This one's a rubbery one. I can go back and forth. This one's a solid one. And then when I take this out, you'll probably be able to see all the differences. Slightly different. It's not a huge difference, but this one's thinner and this one's thicker. Let's see if the knife can still stick into it. Yeah, it can still work. But overall, I don't think this figure is worth it if you're just getting her to display in this thing. Yeah. But if you're getting her to make a custom with, definitely. If you're getting her so that you can throw this thing aside and then make your own poncho for her, that would be the awesomest thing. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this one into the muddy poo-poo version. This one can remain the awesome Carol. Now let's take a look at her face sculpts here. You can see the variances here. This one's got a bigger top, whereas this one's just kind of scraggly looking there. And I think this one looks more feminine, whereas this one looks more hard. This one looks like Clint Eastwood. Go ahead, make my day. This one looks like Carol. Which, I mean, Carol is like the female Clint Eastwood, but it doesn't mean that she has to actually look like Clint Eastwood. Yeah, just no. Other than that, the bodies are the same sculpt. There's slight variances of paint throughout, but that doesn't really matter. I'm going to check out her leg articulation here real quick, because this series has been breaking on me, and I don't want my Carol to break on me. That would just suck. Nope, she seems solid. Thank goodness. Okay, now if you guys don't know why Carol is the most awesome character on Earth, right next to Rick Grimes, then I don't know. There's something wrong with you, because you must have been living in a hole, because if you haven't been watching The Walking Dead and seeing how awesome she is, then you must have been living in a hole. Okay. Now, let's go over her articulation. Then I can get to the, I suppose, paint and then weapons fitting in her hands. Okay, first let's start with the head. Head does a full 360. Let me see something here. Her hair does look like it goes longer in the back as well. Yeah. Okay, does full 360. It does side-to-side movement. I suppose that would be called pivot. It can look back a little bit and then look down a fair amount. Okay, now the arms can move up, not much, just to the right amount of, I guess that's accepted. It's restricted by this jacket here. And then moves full 360, very tight, but it does it full 360 on both. And then full 360 at the elbow, moves down that much, moves forward to a 90-degree angle. This side does the same. Yeah, that's nice. That works well, okay. Now, here she has an articulation at the wrist part right there, but on mine it is extremely tight, and that would break if I tried to move that. So, for mine, it spins only up at the upper part here, and then it can do the dice roll and the scratching at a wall pose, yeah. And then the other hand has the same actually articulation, but on this wrist articulation, it works. Does full 360 there, and then full 360 here. Can do a scratching pose, dice roll, everything you'd need. And then she has a sculpted bracelet on there. I don't think I mentioned that. Also, I'd like to add, in the episode, she was not wearing this clothing exactly. I believe it was all different colored stuff, but it doesn't really matter if you're just planning on customizing her, which is what I'm doing. Okay, she can kick forward to a perfect amount. I mean, this is Sparta! Perfect. Well, for that pose at all, at least. And then she can do the splits to the point where she's looking like she's a real boogie king. Whee! Have you ever seen Van Damme? She could be the female Van Damme there. Yeah. Jean-Claude. And then his knee does, her knee does about a little less than a 90-degree angle on both. Yeah. Then her ankle has a full, no, it has a little bit of side-to-side movement here, and then it moves down and up a little. It's weird. It's very tight there. Then on the other side, very tight as well, moves forward, down and up a little bit. Not great. Now, here's the accessories in her hands real quick. I don't think there was any point that she actually used the crossbow, but let's see if it fits in her hands anyway. Not really. Ugh. The way her hands are sculpted, as you can probably tell from before, it just isn't meant for holding bigger stuff. Yeah. Okay, it doesn't want to hold that. Now let's see if she can hold the machine gun, which is actually how she's supposed to be posed. Then once I'm done with all this, I'll put this piece of crap back on and show you how her arms work with that. But of course, everything will be restricted with that on. But here she can hold the machine gun really nicely. If you guys have seen Season 6, Episode 2, I did a review of that. That's what really made me decide that Carol is awesome. And I'd like to mention that her face being all poopied up like this, that still is a better paint job than the previous one. So if you don't own that previous one, don't buy it, because it's just really bad. Anyway, I think she got this on her face without, if you could just make a little story about this if you don't want to repaint her and just don't want to pose her with this. See, there she was, cleaning up the backyard and working with dirt, and then all of a sudden Daryl walks up and kisses her, and then her face ends up looking like that. Yeah, she really should have forced Daryl to take a shower. Yeah, I mean, she said she would, but I don't think she really stuck to that, did she? Nope. Okay, now let's put this first, let's get a profile view here. That's nice. Nice profile there. Paint on the top. I like her eyes. Very nice. It has the blue painted into there. Very subtly. You can't see it too easily. But that looks like Carol to me. Yeah. She looks like a woman now. I really like that. But anyway. I'm sorry, Carol. You won't be in this horrible, disgusting trap for long. If you like the way this looks, I don't blame you. There's ways that you can pose it that doesn't look awful, but for me, this is just not working. That's not the way a figure's supposed to look in some sort of poncho. Okay, Clint Eastwood had his poncho, now she's got her poncho. Clint Eastwood outdoes her, though, because that poncho, man, his just outdoes this one by a mouse. She can't really pose to hold that machine gun while while in this suit. It's just not working for me. You could probably fidget around with it for a while and eventually get to the right position, but for me, no. This is a definite not gonna work. There. Best position ever. Just, this one, for me, it would be a failure if they didn't resculpt or repaint the face at all. It would just be a total out-and-out failure, but because it's a new face sculpt, and it's got nice eye paint, which means I won't have to touch up the eyes when I repaint her face, I think this is a win. So guys, if you want her for posing with this thing on, I wouldn't suggest it unless you're gonna customize your own poncho, but I would recommend her for anyone who wants a Carol figure and wants to customize their own, perhaps. Yeah. If you're just a collector of the Walking Dead figures in general, and you don't really care about Carol all that much, I would definitely not get this one then. It's not an especially good figure. The only things that are really a downside on her, though, is the face being covered in that poo-poo, and then her stupid plastic vest. Everything else is pretty good. The accessories are nice, and for her price point, about 15 bucks, with tax $16.30 or something. It's not horrible. Well, anyway, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm sure I've gone on way too long on this review, but anyway, I really wanted to review her because she is the exclusive that I've never gotten. It's like that one that got away, but now I've got her, so she didn't get away. Anyway, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.